The kickstarted cyberpunk horror adventure game Project Sense has hit a bit of a snag on its initial PC release. Now the game is scheduled to be released to consoles soon, including the PlayStation Vita, which I've personally backed because I did want to get the physical PlayStation Vita copy. The game released to Steam on August 25th, but after the game received harsh criticism and mixed reviews, the developer made the difficult choice to pull the game from Steam to rework some of the areas of the game that users have been complaining about. The Steam listing will remain up, it just can't be purchased again until the 1.1 update is finished. Now, the developer has stated that this will not affect the projected release dates for the console releases. It has only delayed the official PC release. So on the list of confirmed changes, here's what we can expect. You no longer have to spam the interact button to call the elevator on the first ghost event. So people were getting killed on the first ghost encounter, and this is because you're supposed to call the elevator a whole bunch of times before the doors will actually open and let you in. Each time you press the button, it'll give you a different message like, come on, come on. It would cycle through like 3 different messages and then start repeating. Most people assume it'll just keep cycling through these 3 messages forever. But the developer wanted to mimic that panicked button pressing you see in movies where they hit the button like 10 times. Problem is, nobody actually does that when they're playing a game, especially when the character starts repeating the same phrases. So that's going to be fixed. Next, he says, we are adding default journal items with clear explanations of controls, saving, use of the sword, and other apparently confusing aspects. These will be unlocked and in the journal tab from the beginning of the game, and the player will be prompted to check them. Okay, that sounds good. I like the little touch of apparently confusing aspects. Like, apparently people are too dumb to figure out my game. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm sure he didn't mean that. It just read like that. It was kind of funny. Next, he says, we will either add an autosave or checkpoint at the beginning of each floor, or allow for quick saving from the main menu. We will keep the tapes and save locations as is for people who want to try the challenge of limited saves. We have not decided which option is best, but are leaning towards quick save. That sounds good too. The other complaint I saw were the people dying at the elevator, the first ghost event, were being set way too far back in the game. The problem is, like, you didn't actually have any way to die up until that point at the elevator. So why set someone so far back when they just have to redo all that same stuff they already know how to do with no challenge? It's just tedious to make them redo that entire section. And people were getting frustrated by that, especially with not understanding that you have to press the elevator button so many times. But I can also understand it from the developer's perspective. He wants to sort of really make people dread dying in this game. You want to actually fear those ghosts coming after you because you don't want to die. You don't want to have to start way, way back. So I understand, you know, from both sides. Either way, it looks like he's going to make it an option, so you get to choose which way you want to play the game. Sounds good. Make both people happy. Okay, so the other fixes are the death screen audio bug has been resolved. Not sure what that is. The Sweet Home achievement not unlocking has been resolved. Okay, fix for achievements, that's good. The escape key now brings up the pause menu instead of enter. Okay, so that's just a PC issue. We are looking into various reported smaller interaction chain bugs which were not found in QA. Okay, so that's all good. It sounds like this initial PC release was a good thing for people that want to play on consoles, because now hopefully they'll have all this stuff worked out before the game is made in physical form. It'll be interesting to see how this game eventually turns out. The Vita version is supposed to be out in September, but I don't know how long before the physical version will be available. I ordered a few extra copies of that, so we'll probably do a giveaway at some point. But let's take a look at some of these Steam reviews now. I'm a little bit curious. Very frustrating game to play. A lot of trial and error, instant death in a game with extremely limited save. You die from choosing jump, die from reaching in a hole, die from saying no to a girl. Have you guys ever had that happen? Have you ever said no to a girl before? That's kind of funny. Also, you cannot pick up an item unless you discovered a place to use it. Yes, I did notice that. That is kind of annoying. Like, so if you find an item and you know you can pick it up, it's like, how do I pick it up? Where's the button to pick it up? It won't even let you pick it up until like you progress through the game a little bit, and then your character's like, you know, I should go pick up that pen. It's so annoying because you like, I mean, when I play these types of games, I pick up everything. My inventory is usually a huge garbage pile of just junk because you never know what you're gonna need. Okay, here's another negative one. I will begin this review by saying the initial experience in the first hour may have really soured my review on the game to the point where it affected the rest of the review. Specifically, one element regarding the running from a ghost and having to hit the elevator button 15 times. Okay, yeah, so that's going to be addressed too. So both of these things so far are things the developer is looking to fix on the next release. Okay, here's a positive one. So I hardly type up reviews for games, so sorry if I cause any confusion. First, after playing hours of the QA build from start to finish, I can say this: I love this game. It's a breath of fresh air when it comes to horror, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Obviously a Kickstarter backer, so take it with a grain of salt. Here's another negative one. Cool concept that fails to deliver. The beginning is so frustrating, taking over an hour to reach the first save point, which I died shortly before reaching and was promptly kicked back to essentially the beginning of the game. As the developer was aware, the elevator event is a total failure, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Another thing that's going to be addressed with the saves, more frequent saves, is going to be an option now. Looks like, here's another positive one. This is a very visually pleasing marvel. The neon and lighting mixes well and stand with each other while following a sense, unintended of course, of mystery, creepy favor, and cyberpunk. If you like horror or spooky settings with a cyberpunk tone and PC adventure style mystery, this is a good pickup. All right, here's another good one. It does have some frustrations, but it's a very unique horror game with an interesting story and beautiful hand-drawn artwork. It does have very good artwork. The art is really nice. It looks really great. I'm curious to see how that's going to translate to the Vita release, because the Vita doesn't quite have the hardware as modern PCs. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. I know the developer said it's running on the Vita. There's no problems there. I was a little bit concerned, so I messaged him. I know partway through release, I was like, are you going to really be able to make this thing run on the Vita? Because it looks pretty good on PC. And he said, yeah, it's running on the Vita right now. So yeah, as you can see, the reviews are pretty mixed. It looks like a lot of positives are from people that backed the game on Kickstarter. But the good thing is the developer is really taking to heart these criticisms and is trying to do right by everyone. Anyway, so there is a little bit of an update on Project Sense. I'm really curious to see what the Vita version is going to look like, but I guess we'll find out in September, as long as no new issues crop up before then. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.